What's up guys, NuttyNu here. Today I'm going to show you guys how to unlock and lock your trail gear Longfield Studless Hub. These hubs are an upgrade from your regular Toyota pickup or your Toyota 4Runner Aisin hub. These are more heavier duty, more easy to work on, and more preferred for any off-road trail rigs. It's much more stronger, and I'll show you why. So with this setup, once you put the gear in there, it's not as easy as flipping it on and off like a switch that you do on the Aisin hub. You have to remove the gear inside if you want to roll it on the highway or if you want to unlock your hub. So it is kind of a hassle. This setup is for rigs that are meant for to be trailer or strictly off-road, but even if you daily drive it and you want to go with this setup, you can still remove that gear inside of it and have your hubs unlock when you're in the city where you don't need four-wheel drive. I'm going to show you that setup. It's very simple to unlock it and lock it back up. I have it locked up right now, so I'm just gonna unlock it, and then the installation is the reverse. Common sense. The three tools you need are a small flathead, and all these tools you should have it separately from your main tool. So these tools are separate from my main tool. These are dedicated for this setup only. I put it in a little waterproof box here, and I'll show you how I do it. But you need a small flathead, an L-key Allen wrench. I forgot what the size is, but if you have the kit, it's common sense, you can find out. And you need this bolt here, and same thing if you have the kit, and you can find out what bolt this is. This does not come with the kit. You can just buy this bolt from the hardware store. I have one for this kit, and then I bought another bolt that I throw into my toolbox just in case if I do lose this, guys. On your hub, there's gonna be a lock ring that holds this hub cover into your hub. This lock ring is easily noticeable, and this is where your small flathead comes in handy. You just pop it out just like this. I'm gonna show you guys. Once you pop it out, it's like a little lock ring hub. And for anybody with this kit, I highly recommend you guys buy a few of these. At least have one extra for spare. This lock ring is really easy to install. And this little tool here, this little flathead is what comes in handy. You gotta remember, guys, this lock ring does go in one way, so it goes in this way, and if you put it in the wrong way, when you put this ring on, it won't fully lock onto your hub. So it's very, very easy to notice. And there is a way to tell, and it has once you find out the ring which way it goes in, you'll know. And one way to tell is that it has a little hump right here, and that's the best way to do it. And make sure when you uninstall and install this, clean this really nice. And also I always put some wheel grease lube on it just to help it from corroding. Once you remove that, you're pretty much done. This cover here comes off just like that, and every time I do take these off and put it back on, I do clean it and also make sure it's kind of a little bit greased up. On this cover, there's a little rubber O-ring, and that's what keeps the water from getting inside. So it's very important to make sure you have this whole thing clean from any dirt and etc., and keep it clean and greased up when you put it back on. And again, it's always good to order one of these or have a spare of that ring and a few spare of these rubber O-ring. Once that's removed, you have your gear. This is the big gear that locks your hub onto your freaking axles. Use this little Allen wrench and remove this little bolt here. Remove this bolt and remove the washer. These you will set into your little box. This you do not need to install no more. You take this guy, screw it in here. On the instruction, they tell you to put 2 bolts and to put it out, but usually 1 bolt is enough leverage to get it out. And you see that? This guy comes out just like that. And this is a heavy duty ring, guys. This is basically what locks your hub to your axle. Common sense. If you take this off, your hub is now free spinning, and this is your axle. If you put in 4-wheel drive, this axle is gonna spin, and it's not gonna put any power to your hub. This is where the ring comes in. Common sense. That's how your 4-wheel drive works. So what I do is I put this ring away, and also you don't need to install this back on. You don't have to put it back on. You can, but you don't have to. So I put this away, And then what you do now is clean this off. We're gonna clean this a little bit, just get some dirt off of it. And then you can always inspect, make sure there's no corrosion, everything looks good, and there's a lot of grease available still for the bearings. So now you just basically put this on, just like that. And we'll take the ring here, clean it off, make sure all the dirt and stuff is off of this. And also, once you do this a few times, like after you do this 2 or 3 times, you can get both of your hubs on and off within like 10 minutes. You become very, very good at this and very efficient. So the first time I did it, I had some issues getting this ring in there, but once you get it going, once you know how to do it, it's really easy. So what I do is I take this end, this is a little end here, I take this piece, I start it first. It doesn't matter where you start it, on the top, on the side. I always like to do this side. I press it in a little bit, and I take this small flathead, guys. This small flathead comes in handy. Don't get don't get a full size flathead. Get one of these guys that's a little bit small, about the size, about the width of this ring here. Take this thing here, and you're gonna squeeze it in just like that. And we're gonna follow it. We're gonna follow and push. See that? Now it might pop out. Sometimes, if this is a brand new ring, a brand new lock ring, sometimes it want to snap out. But after a few days or after a few times of doing this, it gets very, very easy. So it locks in just like that, and you want to make sure it gets into the grooves. There's a little groove on your hub here, and make sure it gets into it. And you'll know if it's in it or not. Once you do it, you'll know it. So let me do this real quick. There we go, it's going in now. There we go. You'll hear it snap. And once it snaps in there, you guys can see it. Once it snaps in there, it's locked in there. So you guys see that? And if you want to, you can take some grease. You can take some grease and just kind of put it around it, or just kind of like put it around this area. Usually I should have put a little bit of grease on the ring itself, but whatever. But you can put some grease in here, and that will help prevent any water or any rust happening around this ring here. But usually that little rubber O-ring that goes on this cap, as long as you keep that clean, water will never get inside your axles. And I have, when I rebuilt my axles, I ordered a new one. So that's basically how you do it, guys. It's very easy, and the installation is basically the same setup. And I highly recommend everyone get like a get yourself like a little box that's waterproof, and put your locking ring and all your tools inside of it, and keep it in your vehicle at all times. So whenever you go off-road, you can just go right to your box and slap in the gear, and boom, be on the road. Hope this video helps. You guys got any questions? Drop it in the comment section below.